Hey guys, this is Odd One Gaming. This is going to be another Infinite Magicraid video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about something that can actually ruin your progression if you're not being careful. And these are some mistakes that most people can do, and I'm quite sure most of you already did them early game. But you know, if you're doing this and if you started playing the game and you're running the very first few weeks, because I mean this game is what, 2 months, 3 months old. So if you're still learning about it, still trying to check some stuff, what to do and what not to do, I want to mention a few things that I actually did myself. Like there's a few mistakes that I did myself that I want to tell you guys to avoid doing, because they can definitely slow down your progression a ton. One of the first one that I want to mention, that's something that I forgot to do for 2 weeks. I played for 2 weeks and I forgot to do this, and that's why maybe my level is low. Being that I'm a low spender and I do the weekly card in the battle order, but maybe I should have been like level 50 or more, and that is this one over here, the idle RPG part of the game, the auto drop reward. So even if it's not the 2 times, it's like we have now, we do have events like once every 2 weeks, every month. We have events of the auto drops, and basically what I forgot to do for 2 weeks in a row is not claim these, because you know what, it jumps in your face. Boom, look at this, level 46. But it's not just simply claim it, because it appears straight here, you know, you click it, you claim it, boom, it's obvious. But this one over here, the quick auto drop that you can do daily, it costs like 20 diamonds, and it basically gives you the equivalent of 12 hours of auto drop rewards. This is something that you should always do at the end of the day if you're still progressing through the campaign, because it depends on the amount of stars that you have. You know, the higher you are here at the auto drop level, the better rewards you get. The first goal is trying to get to level 12. It's kind of hard, but still, as soon as you get there, you start getting epics. So I basically forgot to do this for 2 weeks, and obviously I lost a lot of resources, because this is the equivalent of like another full day of auto drop rewards, which give you count XP, which give you coin, which give you some fodder to use, like tons of stuff, plus gear that you would sell towards other coins. So definitely do not forget about that. That's really important, and trust me, it definitely slows down your progress a lot, especially if you're free to play. It definitely hurts you a lot. Another thing is, like, you know what, actually let me just claim this. This patch is not one of them, but obviously don't forget to do this patch. You just go after you hit level 6, just quick this patch, and it's an easy thing. But another thing that you definitely do not want to miss is the arena. So it doesn't matter at what level, how high you can fight, even if it's the lowest, do not forget to do the classic arena. And do not forget to do the advanced arena. These give you rewards that are daily. You get 10 advanced arena tickets per day, and you get like around what's it, 24. Like these ones refresh every hour. So you get around, what's it called, once every hour. So this one you do not want to waste because of this one over here. Let me just show you to see where I'm stuck. And obviously I did this mistake as well a little bit. If you click yourself, move myself in the middle, campaign quests, you see that the last thing that I have to do in order to get my second Catherine, because I already got my Catherine from 3-star campaign, is this one. 1200 arena battles, 1200 classic arena battles. This is insane. This is a lot. But if you do them daily, you know, just pick the easiest fights and don't let it max out. You should easily be able to do it. The way that I do it, for example, if I go in arena and if I go into defense, I just have a 1-person defense. I just keep, people hit me, I keep tanking, then I go back up, and I do the same every single day, and I'm trying to search for teams that are similar. Let me see if I refresh. Boom. You have 2-man teams, that might be a trick. 2-man teams, 3-man teams, but you know, you try to look for easier fights, because the lower you are, the higher your chances are of winning. And I'm doing kind of the same thing in the advanced arena, if I'm not mistaken, as I put my defenses back on. No. Same thing in advanced arena. I put my one-man defense in, and then I keep refreshing, and I'm trying to pick up the one-man defenses, because you know that's the way you do it. If you weren't doing this now, do it, guys, because it helps each and every single one of us to make it easier and not waste all the time. Because honestly, I never understood the reason for the advanced arena, or like in Raid Shadow Legends 3v3 arenas. Those are just time wasters, like, you know. So that's the way we can trick the system and cheat at it. It's just have one-man defenses. We all do our fights and carry on with our day. One thing to keep in mind though is, if you're trying to progress through campaign or any other content, and you need to have, you know, you need to be at your best, your highest stats and everything, you try to keep yourself higher in arena. So if you know that today you're gonna be pushing for campaign to try and 3-star more, just put back your defense, climb as high as you can, because these ones, as you see, for every single tier, you get more stats in every area of the game. The HP is just for the arena, it says only classic arena, but for every other area of the game, the higher you are, the more base stats you get for everybody, so keep that in mind. Then another thing that's really important that, you know what, I already made a video on that one, but I want to mention it again because this is a system that maybe not too many people know if you haven't played Raid Shadow Legends or stuff like that, and that's when it comes to the emblems. If you come over here and you fight to farm the emblems, I always recommend, because we know that we're gonna have at least like maybe once a month a double emblem events, but if you do not want to wait, keep in mind that even if you have maximum emblems on your heroes already, you can still use them to farm for somebody else. So for example, my farming team for stage 6 is Catherine and Hezonja. They're already maxed, they're never gonna receive the emblems anymore. However, the third person that I'm bringing in is constantly gonna receive all of the emblems. So keep that in mind, because there might be people that farm lower stages, like I mentioned in my previous video. For example, a fellow content creator Goldie forgot to do this, and he was farming lower stages like stage 3 because he did not know that. If you didn't if you didn't check the info here that it shows you, or you haven't played where there's a system like this, you're not going to know. So that's one thing that you definitely want to keep in mind. Another thing that's definitely really important are the events. Do not ignore the events. I'm not talking especially now, for example, for the sake of the Thanksgiving one, because obviously they're crazy, but any other event that you have going on, such as Mystic Treasure Hunt, the Brave Trial, Challenge Growlin, Equipment Artifact goals, Enhancement goals, it doesn't matter. If you can do whatever you can do that's, doesn't cost you too many resources, like stuff like Brave Trial and Mystic Treasure Hunt and some other things similar to that, or yes, a little bit, those are part of the features that are pay to win. Like you get to a certain point, then you get stuck. But almost everything else you can farm, even if it's lower stages, but you can farm, and I always suggest try and farm at least till you hit the milestones, okay? After you hit the milestones, then you can stop and collect as much as you can from the event ranking. You get some rewards, the point ranking again. It's like the higher you place, the more rewards you get, and you definitely want to get yourself as many mythic hero shards as you possibly can, because the sooner you get yourself to get from the temple a mythic hero, the faster. Like look at me, I'm two away, and I'm getting close to do that. Like these ones are pretty, they're pretty game changing. So the faster you get those mythic shards, the better. Obviously, if you're a low spender like me, you might be able to push and place, like for example, I showed you myself. I'm already in Growlin. I'm in top 4.5%. See, so the higher you are, the better rewards you get. Keep that in mind as well. Another thing that's really, really important. This is one of the things that you might be doing in the first few days of playing. That's spreading yourself thin and doing the mistake of awakening several people, or focusing on several people all the time. You do not want to do that. That's the biggest mistake again, and that's one of the things that, just like the quick auto drop, is gonna slow your progress a ton. So first of all, if you haven't seen my video of the top 10 farmers in my opinion that you want to start with when you're rerolling, I'm gonna pin that video as above my head at the end of this one, and you can go check it out. But basically what you want to do first and foremost is focus to get your starter, your farmer, which for me, for example, was Melia. It might be, it might be Reeves, it might be Holder, it might be whoever you get. Focus getting them to Awaken 5 as soon as possible. You don't invest in anybody else. You can invest some of levels, you can just go and give them some levels, it's fine, but do not awaken, because fodder is a problem in this game and it's pretty hard to level up more, so you do not have the luxury of just spreading your resources everywhere. No, just get your first person to A5. Then go to the next one, and then go to the next one. The only reason like you would do something like I did, for example, see this A111, is because there was an emblem event, a 2x emblem event, which means that all the emblems that I farmed, I received double for the same price of the energy. So what this means is I prepare these three in order for me to be able to farm them, because otherwise I cannot put them in the team to farm emblems. As you can see, I have full emblems on this one. I have full emblems on CL, I have full emblems on everyone, because I knew they were gonna be the next ones that I will be focusing, so that's why I did that. Otherwise, I might have just A5'd my Maya, or I might have just went and worked on somebody else. But keep that in mind, don't spread just keep working at one at a time. See whichever is going to be the hero that's going to help you progress in area that you need, and focus on that one. It might be somebody that it's going to help you in campaign. It might be somebody that helps you in the Tower of Mark. Like, doesn't matter where, but focus that. Then the next one, I think this might actually be the last one, and that's the one that I actually just did right now. And as you can see, I'm full on the keys. You do not want to let yourself have maximum keys on Tower of Mark or maximum faction tokens, because these one regenerate pretty slow, and especially for Tower of Mark, if I'm not mistaken, you cannot buy them from anywhere. So if these ones are full, you're wasting resources, because a Tower of Mark is something that, you know, you can farm daily. Depends on which is your best team. You always farm whatever your main focus is going to be, because this is the one that's gonna give you resources to put in here. If you go to talent, mark talent. As you can see, for example, for me, the green mark was my focus, so that's why I have so many upgrades. What this one means is, and this is something again to keep in mind, invest smart in your talent trees, is this means that all my green mark characters will have boosts of whatever it says here, like 1000 defense, 1000 attack, 4.8% speed, 3% HP. You know, this scales up and this helps you a ton. I have the same thing for the force mark, blue mark, red mark. So again, with this one, I would say don't spread yourself too much. Focus on the one that you know you have your strongest team and that you know are gonna focus more, and try to evolve that one the most, and then pass on to the next one. And always do like this: level 10, 10, 10, go to the next one, 10, and then after you have everything at 10, then you start focusing again whichever stat you think is gonna help you most. Because if you keep going here, it's a lot more expensive. Like the starting ones 5, 10, 15, so definitely is worth it to get everything to 10 first, and after that do the next levels. And the same thing for the sake of the class talent. These are the talent tomes that you get by doing classic arena. Again, you know, this is how it ties in, and by getting these, you do the same thing. You keep upgrading them, level 10, 10, 10, and then you go to the max, and after that you choose which is best. For example, for attack, it might be best for you to invest in the crit rate, because you might have, you know, lots of attack champions that require crit rate in their kit, which is, you know, really important. Or you might have lots of attack champions that, you know, require a lot of effect hit, and then you would focus effect hit. For the sake of support, you would maybe focus the HP or the speed, but usually go for percentages. If you want to keep going, go for the percentages. But yeah, I think these are like some of the early game mistakes that I think maybe lots of people do, that I wanted to mention. And I wanted, you know what, I wanted to let you guys know, so you do not do the same mistakes I did, so you can have the best progression. If you're free to play or even if you're low spend, doesn't matter. These are some mistakes that is gonna affect each and every single one of you guys if you don't pay attention. But yeah, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. If you do like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you know what, leave a comment below and tell me which one of these mistakes you actually did, just like myself. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye, guys.
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.